Hi there, this is Srikanth Dasari. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the if else if ladder structure in C. Okay, the else if ladder structure is most commonly used when we are dealing with conditional statements. So, let me launch the IDE. So, already I have created a project under the name if else if, so which contains if else if.c, C file. If you open it, we have already some code typed in it. Okay, it does nothing but just takes the input of three subject marks and calculates the total, and before that it checks whether the marks of whether the marks obtained are all greater than 35. uh, if in that case it is considered as the student is passed in all subjects, and the regular stuff of calculating the total and average and printing them all together. Okay, typically it contains if condition followed by a else. Okay, so here our intention in this program to demonstrate the else if ladder in C, uh, to calculate the division. Okay, or else you can say grade, like first grade, second grade, third, and just pass, something like this. Okay, so to add that feature to our program, let us write the if else ladder like this. So if average, if you take average as avg, average greater than or equal to 75, you can take that condition as a distinction. Okay, so printf slash in slash t distinction. Okay, you can say something like distinction. Okay, in the same way you can have the else if clause like this: else if average is greater than or equal to 60 and average less than 75. Okay, so if you say something like this, you can consider it as first class, which is normally everywhere the same, first class division. Okay, okay, so in the same way you can have the another else if clause, as long as the program demands. Okay, so we can take another clause like this: if average is greater than or equal to 50 and average is less than 60. Okay, so in this case you can consider as second class. Okay, so we are adding some features to our previous program, which we have seen this kind of program previously in our nested if else program. Okay, so we are elaborating the same program by adding the else if clause here. Okay, so if the average calculated is below 50 and 60, you can take it as second class. Okay, so in the same we can have another else if clause here. So if average greater than or equal to 40 and average less than or equal to 50. Okay, should not say equal to here because it's considered 50 also as second class, which is not mostly the case. So you can have a printf statement here saying that third class. Okay, so finally you can have an else. Okay, if else finally, which false, the control will jump to the else clause if neither of the conditions or clauses used in these else if conditions are false. The control automatically jumps to this else clause here. Okay, so the reason we have used the word ladder here, because else if clause as ladder, because it just climbs the ladder one step by another. It checks each and every condition which is placed in the else if clause here, and checks towards downward approach, and finally the control jumps into the else clause if none of the conditions were true. Okay, so in the else clause we can have something like this: printf, you can say just pass. Okay, so whatever the message, whatever the conditions based on your requirement. Okay, so if you save and run the program here, so if you enter 3 marks like this, 60, 60 and 70, okay, so since his average is 60, so he got first class. Okay, depending upon the logic we have written in our else program here. Okay, so in the same way, so again if you run the program, if you want to check for another kind of input, you say 40, 40 and 40. Okay, so the average is 40 and it falls in the third class. Okay, so all these things we have achieved with the help of this else if class. Okay, else if ladder structure. So as soon as you go so as soon as the average is 40, directly jumps to here. Okay, so again if you run the program for one more input, stop debugging here, save and run the program. If you take 70, 70 and 90, so you got first class here because the average is 70. Okay, so the average is 70. We have had a little bit of flaw here. Okay, greater than 70 and less than 75. This always considered as first class. Okay, that's not a flaw. I'm sorry. So here the average we have calculated is 70. Okay, it falls between this range. Okay, it falls between this else if range here, 60 and 75. Okay, so that's the reason the statement is printed as first class. Okay, if you run once again, and if you enter something like this, 80, 80 and 80, okay, you got 80. The average is 80 and the result is distinction. Okay, so if you see whatever the average, if it is above 75, immediately the first if condition gets true, and the message which is under the block distinction gets printed. Okay, so this is the basic stuff about the else if ladder, the else if clause in C. Okay, so see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.